Hi everybody, today's episode is titled, Who Are You Against? We are going to tell the story of the three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were three Israelites who refused to worship anyone other than God. In the book of Daniel, chapter 3 is where their story is told. In Daniel chapter 1, verse 20, I'm going to describe how these men were. It says, in every matter of wisdom and understanding about which the king questioned them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and enchanters in his whole kingdom. So, we are going to get this doll, and Chloe, you pick those up. And those are the three men that represent
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yes, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. We're going to pretend like this is
the statue.
Yes. So there was a golden statue that the king created, and he wanted everyone in his kingdom to
worship it.
Yes, he wanted everyone to worship it. And what did they say?
They said no.
That's correct. They said no. And so what happened was, when they said no, the king got angry. I'm going to read in chapter 3 of the book of Daniel, verses 16 to 18, and I'll let you know what they told him. It says, they told him, King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up. So my question to you, Chloe, is when they said no to the king, do you feel like they were being disrespectful?
No.
I don't either. My next question is, do you feel like they were being honest?
Yes.
I agree. Do you feel like the king was asking them to do something that they did not believe in?
Yes.
That is true also. So the thing that the king said is, he said, if you don't worship this image, I'm going to throw you into a fiery furnace. Those three men said the words that I just read, and the king was furious, which meant he was in his feelings. He was so in his feelings that he turned up the furnace 7 times hotter than what it originally was. And he tied them up, which is why they've got these ties on here and here. And he threw them into the fiery furnace, and then do you remember what happened after that?
God was in the furnace with them.
God was not only in the furnace with them, but their ties fell off. And the king looked in there, and he said, are you okay in there? They said, he asked his people, he said, weren't there 3 people that we put in the fire? And they said, yeah, it was only 3. He said, well, I see all 3 men walking around, and I see a 4th person in there that looks like the Son of God. So I just want to let people know that sometimes you have to understand and realize and recognize who you are against. They were not against the king. They were against what the king was trying to tell them to do, which was serve something other than God. And it was a statue that he had created. My encouraging scripture is actually going to come from Daniel chapter 3, verses 28 to 29. It says, then Nebuchadnezzar said, praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and rescued his servants. They trusted in him and defied the king's command and were willing to give up their lives rather than serve or worship any god except their own God. Therefore I decree that the people of any nation or language who say anything against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be cut into pieces and their houses be turned into piles of rubble, for no other God can save in this way.